tables have been defined. I mean, so what are why the aggregate tables and the predefined tables have been removed. So there is a one slide already we have been I provided in the demo. Okay, so if you see this slide, this will be give you the clear understanding about the compatibility about the previous and the current version. What exactly is going to be happen. So yesterday we discussed about the total thing. Okay, so if you go for the traditional way in the ECC, the stability we see it is going to be very high, and the flexibility in the sense is nothing but for the reporting or something like management accounting, whatever maybe. So for the decision making, so the flexibility is very low when comparable to when compared to your stability. Stability is nothing but okay. So we have the FI documents and we have the controlling documents in the database. So when we want to pull the reports, okay, so what is happening? Okay, so the totals and the totals and the indexes tables are getting aggregated and it is getting processed. But now in SAP S/4HANA, we don't require anything about all the totals and indexes. Now the total and indexes are going to be converted as a HANA views, which we discussed yesterday, also compatibility views. Now this aggregation is going to be on the fly based on the parallelization and the partitioning. Now you can see the flexibility is very high and the stability is going to be very low here because of bringing the universal journal entry table. Now, what is this universal journal entry table? Yesterday I given some introduction about the universal journal entry table, which is called as single source of truth. Normally we call it as a single source of truth, where if you go back to your SAP ECC, what is happening? We have multiple source of truth. We call it as a multiple source of truth. What is a multiple source of truth? Multiple source of truth is nothing but we have the table defined structure for the general ledger accounting. Means we have a different data structure for the general ledger accounting. We have a different structure for asset accounting. Like we have a different structure, database structure for controlling. Like this, we have material ledger and COP example I'm going to be taking. Now, this portion we call it as a multiple source of truth. Means if I want to get any kind of GL accounting reports, I need to use the GL account. Asset accounting means asset accounting. Like this is called as a multiple source of truth. We see the documents are getting posted to the corresponding components. If I'm posting to the GL, it will only update the general ledger accounting. If I post asset accounting related data, it will update only the asset related table. So tomorrow what is happening? If I want to define any report, if I want to define any report based on these data structures, based on this multiple source of truth, I need to I need to compile all the tables. I need to compile all the required tables. Means from the GL, I need to compile the BKPF and the BSEC. From the asset accounting, I need to compile the asset related tables. From the controlling, the cost center related tables has to be compiled. So what is happening? For one report, I need to compile the required tables from each and every component, and I need to develop the report. But now, what the SAP is telling you now we have a concept called as a single source of truth. Now we are going to be calling it as a single source of truth, where we call yesterday also defined that, okay, so we call it as the ACDOCA table now. On top of it, we have only one table. On top of it, we have only one table, which is going to be called as header table. Normally, every document will have one header. Okay, so BKPF is the header table from today. So whichever the component you take now. Earlier, we have a separate line item tables and the header table for the GL. Earlier, we have a separate line item tables and the header table for the asset accounting. In the same way for the controlling, material ledger and COP. And now, what SAP is telling that now these all the structure defined tables are not going to be required from today onwards. No, nothing. We don't require any kind of multiple source of truth. Now, if you are posting any document in SAP, which is actuals, I'm talking about actuals. If you're posting any document, whether it is a GL document or asset accounting document or controlling, whichever the document you take, now there will be only one document will be triggered. That document will be get posted to your ACDOCA table now. And apart from that, you have only one header table on the top of your ACDOCA table. The header table is going to be calling as a BKPF. Means I don't want any respective header tables for the corresponding ACDOCA table. I have only one header table now. Whichever the header tables you are going to be using. For example, earlier GL we are using the BKPF has a header table. Earlier means in SAP BKPF is the header table, and when you come to the asset accounting, ANEK is the header table, and when you come to the controlling COBK, like this, we have different header tables earlier. Now this all the header tables are not going to be required. Why? Because I'm triggering single document. I'm triggering single document to one line item level table, which is called as ACDOCA table. And I should have only one header table. I'm corresponding to the BKPF. Now, whichever the header tables earlier you are comparing, I don't require anything. I don't require any kind of header tables. One header table is going to be enough. Now, if I go into the SAP, one second. Just one second, it has struck Hangout. Now, if I go into the SAP now, if you see here, now for example, now I'm logging to the SAP S4HANA 1909. Now I go to the table SE11 now from today. We have a new table called a single source of truth. We call it as entire the world is going to fit into one table, means all the transactions of actual financial accounting entries, actual financial accounting entries are going to be stored in one table. That table name we are going to be defining it as a ACDOCA table. ECDOCA table is a new table from today onwards where we call it as a universal journal entry table for the line item. Okay, we call it as a universal journal entry table, which is going to be calling it as a line item level table. And if you see here, there are 479 fields are there in this particular table. 479 fields are there. Mean to say that, so it is going to fit all your financial transactions into one table. Now I'll go with one example. How to see the data. Now there is a display of the table is going to be done. So how to see the display of the table? Either you can come from the same transaction or you can use the transaction called as SE16. SE16N is the transaction code where I can give the company code details. For example, if I'm giving the company code details and if I'm executing, see here, there will be a lot of transactions I can see in this particular table. Lot of transactions means that in the current situation, we see there are 26 transactions are there. Now, 26 transaction line, if I open one single document, now if I click on the display, now I can see these are the fields which are available in the ACDOCA table. So all the fields are available. Now this table is called as a line item level table in SAP S4HANA. Earlier, if you go back to your SAP ECC, GL, BSEG is the line item level table. ANEK, ANEP, ANEL is the line item level tables. COEP is the line item level table for the controlling, like that. Now all the tables are not going to be required, only one single table. Now let me come to the data structures. One point to point we'll discuss. Now what is the ACDOCA table? First of all, I want to understand the architect. Okay, if you see here, this architect is very definedly, freely defined. We can see over the diagram. Okay, now there is only one single table with a header table called as a BKPF. What do you mean by header table? Every document, if I'm posting a transaction in SAP, for example, I'm posting one accounting entry. Okay, for example, I'm just taking it as a travel expenses account is getting debited and my something like my cash or bank account, whatever maybe. Okay, cash or bank account will be get created. This is my accounting entry. Now this is the financial transaction I'm posting in SAP, or I'm posting, this is related to my GL accounting. Now what is happening, system will generate a one document number for this. Yes, if you have posted a transaction, a document, normally we call it as the OCHR number. In general terminology, we call it as the OCHR number. In SAP, we call it as the document number. Now here, once I've posted here, this is the document number. Now, if you see this particular transaction here, this is the document number 1000001. Okay, 1001, 1002, 1003, like this. These are the document numbers we see here for every transaction. In the same way, when I open the document, so if I see the document number will be posted with 100 or something like whatever, maybe 1000. This is my document number. If I open a document in SAP, now I take the same document. I want to see the display. Okay, so I'll go to the transaction code called as FB03 is the transaction code. FB03 is the transaction code. Now I am giving the document number and I'll give the required parameters like company code, because which company code the document number, and I'll give the financial year 2019. Now I want to see the document. Now what is the document here? Now if you see here, this is what exactly I call it as a document. Now 1 second. Now this is called as a document. After the posting of financial transaction, if I want to see the display of the document structure look like this. So this is called as header data. This is all the required things which I'm going to be displaying. This is called as the header data, and these are called as the line item details. If you see here, there are only two line items are there. One is the debit line item, another one is the credit line item. There are two line items are there. Debit line item is nothing but you're debiting this account, which is called as electricity bills and utilities, and you're creating to the petty cash account. This is the petty cash account we are going to be using. So this is going to be called as line item details. And we have two portions in any document. One is the header. This header information, this is the called as header. Now this header information data, like we have when you have created the document, who has posted the document, what is the transaction code you have posted the document, everything you can see over here. Now this header information will be stored in a table called as BKPF, and these line item details, now whatever the line item details you are seeing, debit line item and the credit line item, these line item details now I can go and see in the ACDOCA table, which is called as line item details table now, which is called as line item details tables. Now go back to the architecture now. Go back to the architecture, which I'm going to make. So what is the first point? Number one, the universal general entry consists of header, yes, BKPF, and the respective line items table is going to be called as ACDOCA table, ECDOCA table. Very, very important. Yes. Now, this is one of the certification question. Actually, everybody, when you are writing an associate level certification here, there are rare cases where entries in the ACDO table are written without the document header. Means every document should contain the header and every document should contain the line item. Then only I can tell it is a complete document. Then only I can tell it is a complete document. Then SAP is very clear telling, okay, so here the word is very clear to us. There are rare cases where the entries in the ACDO table are written without document header. Means there are some entries where the header information is no more available. That is not going to be available. Only the line item details are available. When in what cases? In only two cases. One case is nothing but whenever you're doing the carry forward and the corrections during the migration. At only two cases, you can only see a document is created, but without any header information. Without any header information means only I can see that line item details in the ACDOCA table, but there will be no header table called as BKPF. In what cases? One is the carry forward and corrections in the migrations. What do you mean by carry forward? Now we are in 2019, my dear friends. Now we are in 2019. I see some balances in some GL accounts. In the P&L accounts, I see some balances. So those balances you need to carry forward to the next year, which is called as retained earnings. Okay, so you're carry forwarding to the 2020 financial year. So now in the current year, in all the GL accounts, you see some balances. Okay, the P&L account balance, whether it is an expenses or it is a revenue, whatever maybe. So there is some balance of $10,000. Example, I'm telling. Now, this balance has to be carried forward to the next year as an opening balance for the 2020. This has to be carried forward. Very, very important. This has to be carried forward as an opening balance for the 2020. So when I'm doing this balance carry forward, normally it will be done in the year-end closing activity. Now we are completing the December after next 15 days. So normally our users will do this balance carry forward because next year we are going to be coming out with a new financial year called as the 2020. So before that, I need to carry forward the balances. So for example, if I go to one GL account, now if I see the same GL account, electricity bills and utilities. Now if I see the what is the balance, okay. Now here, if I come to, okay, just an example, not a practical, just an example, I'm showing it's not a practical. If I give the same GL account, if I want to see the balances here in 2019, now I can see here, okay, so this 12,000 is going to be the cumulative balance I can see in this particular GL account. If you see in this particular electricity bills and utilities, now I can see there is a balance is there. You have done the debit, but you have not done the credit. Now there is a 12,000 USD dollars balance is available. This balance you need to carry forward to the next year. Now current year is going to be the 2019. If I give the 2020, if I give the 2020, now this is a new financial year. Now system is telling that no data found for the fiscal year 2020. Why? Because you have not done any balance carry forward from the 2019 to 2020. Okay, so there is some balance is there. Balance in the GL account. In the same respective, I should find out all the balances in all the GL accounts. So this is the 12,000 is the balances. Now currently which we are going to be seeing. Next year, it should be the opening balance for the same GL account for the 2020. Because I need to do the balance carry forward. So there is a one transaction code has been given in SAP where you can do the balance carry forward. So this is normally, this is not the time to discuss, but I'll show here. FAGL, or otherwise I'll go with the path so that will be easy for you to understand accounting.
Mahesh, quick question.
Yes, madam.
So this the carry forward what you're talking about, that will be only for the balance sheet line items, right? Not for the P&L.
Profit and losses. No, madam. Balance sheet, why you will be carry forward means balance sheet, the account, the retained earnings account will be the carry forwarded. Okay, as you said, it is correct. As a retained earnings account will be created and it is to be carry forward to the next year as a balance sheet accounts. Yes, correct.
Yes. Okay.
Now here, when I go to the year-end closing activity here, okay, sir, okay, fiscal year, there is a called as transaction called as FAGL GVTR. So this normally I will use this particular transaction balance carry forward from, so to which year you want to do the balance carry forward. So to the 2020, I want to do the balance carry forward for all the accounts related to the vendors, customers, all the GL accounts. I need to do the balance carry forward. Now, once you are done this balance carry forward, I only see there will be something entries which are related to the line item. There will be no header information. Why? Because it is a balance carry forward. It is not creating any accounting transaction. It is only transferring the carry of the balances from the current year to the next year. So here, in this case, yes, I can clearly say that the balance carry forward is going to be done. So there will be no document is going to be created with header. And the second one, corrections in the migrations. What is the migration? Normally, what we are going to do, so when you take an existing ECC customer, now this existing customer, now he is converting his system to SAP S/4HANA as an on-premise. Earlier he was in SAP ECC. Now you want to move to SAP S/4HANA. It is a brownfield implementation. Normally we call it as a brownfield implementation. Okay, so one is the greenfield implementation, second one is the brownfield implementation. What is a greenfield? When you take an existing customer, existing means who has already started his journey with SAP ECC in way back 2012, 2011, like that. Now the customer, now he want to convert the system, the same system he has taken the license of on-premise and he want to convert the system from SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA. Normally this project we call it as a migration projects. Migration. When we are converting your system from ECC to SAP S/4HANA, so in SAP terminology we call it as a migration projects, or it is a brownfield implementation. So during this process, whatever the corrections you are doing, whatever the corrections you are making in the ECC related to the documents, those particular documents, the migration documents, for those migration documents, normally we don't have any kind of header information, corrections in the migration. So normally we don't have any kind of header information. You are correcting all the documents here. You are correcting all the documents in SAP S/4HANA. After I get migrated, I need to do some corrections. So for those documents where you are doing the corrections at the time of migration, those documents will not contain any kind of header information. It will only contain the line item level information. So at two situations, I see any document which has got posted in my SAP S/4HANA, there will be no header data in the BKPF. Only I can see the line item level data in the AC Docker table, which is called as at the time of carry forward and at the time of corrections in the migration. Now, you're telling, yes, Mahesh, you're telling some corrections you are making in the migration process. So how to identify the normal documents and compared with your correction documents. How do I compare now? So there will be one artificial document number beginning with the letter. So there will be something called A is going to be prefixed, something like artificial document number. Like I'm going to prefix with A. For example, if you see here, now the original document is 10000. Now what I'm going to do, I'm prefixing like this, A1000. Now what does it mean? That now this is going to be called as my artificial document number, where this is the document number where I had done some corrections at the time of migration. So I can easily identify this is the original document and these are the correction document. So SAP is clear here. The corresponding line items have the artificial document numbers beginning with the letters. Beginning with the letters. Very, very important. See the word here. The corresponding line items. What do you mean by line items? Here we have two line items are there. One is the debit line item, another one is the credit line item. Now, if I open the document, the corresponding line items will have like this. Okay. So A0001, A0002 means this A0001 line item is called as the travel expenses, and A002 is going to be called as my petty cash account. Means the line items are prefixed with your artificial prefix with your artificial account number. So here you can see the corresponding line items have the artificial document numbers beginning with the letter. So easily you can identify that. Okay, so these are the line items. If I come and see, these are the line items. Okay, line item number 1. Here you can see line item number 1 and line item number 2. Here you can see line item number 1 and line item. These two line items are prefixed with your artificial document number. So in front of this document number, I can see there will be A or something like I'll prefix with some alphabetical word so that I can easily identify, okay, this document number is the artificial document number where I have used this document number for the corrections or in the time of conversion. That's easily I can identify. So this is how the basic header and the line item details are going to be saved. My dear friend, second most important thing is, I told yesterday also, the table ACDOCA contains all the fields needed for the GL. Very, very important, because this is called as a single source of truth now. Now this is called as single source of truth. What do you mean by single source of truth? Now I can see there will be only one document is going to be triggered. I see there will be only one document will be triggered for the GL, controlling, asset accounting, material ledger, and COPA. So that one document will be get posted to ACDOCA table. So the table contains all the fields necessary for your GL controlling. Now tomorrow, if I want to extract any kind of reports, earlier I am going to be compiling all the tables. Now I know no need to do any compilation of all the tables. I'll get all the data from one table. That is called as universal general entry table from today onwards. And my dear, make sure that every time I'm repeating this, only the actuals will be posted to your ACDOCA table. Means ACDOCA table, I given the abbreviation also, accounting document actuals, not any other data. No any other data will be posted. Only the actuals which are impacting to your P&L account and balance sheet. Only those accounting entries will be get updated to your ACDOCA table. Next one, multi-gap capability through RLD NR dimension. Multi-gap capability. Okay, very, very important this is. What do you mean by multi-gap capability? Now, for example, let us take an example. Just let me remove this. Now, let me take one country. Let me take one country, but my country is going to be called as USA, United States of America. I'm using, what is the reporting, what reporting you're going to be using? I'm using, okay, there will be something called as, okay, accounting standard. Which accounting standard you're going to be using? Every country will have their own accounting standards for their reporting, okay? So IFRS is one of the reporting standard. US GAAP is one of the reporting standard. Local GAAP. If we come to the India, it is IND AS. IND AS is one of the reporting standards. So every country will have their own accounting reporting standard. Now for US, we have the IFRS reporting. IFRS 15, IFRS 16, what I mean. Okay, so Now this is the reporting actually. So I need to excel the reports based on the standards of IFRS. This is my, okay, financial regulatory information which I'm going to be using. Now I'm going to be using this IFRS as a 16. So what I'm going to be doing here, so I'm creating one ledger. I'm creating one ledger, very, very important. One ledger has to be created because this accounting standard, whatever the reporting standard you're going to be using, I need to assign to the ledger. So we have the concept called as the ledger concept in SAP S4HANA and ECC also we have the ledger concept. Ledgers are going to be created. One is going to be called as leading ledger. Another one is called as a non-leading ledger. I'll tell you the importance of everything because we are okay. We are start talking of the leading ledger. And second one, we have the non-leading ledger. Second one, we call it as a non-leading ledger. The leading ledger always will be assigned to your local reporting. The leading ledger. So in SAP S4HANA or in SAP ECC, there is a predefined ledger is called for the leading ledger, which we call it as OL, standard defined. OL is nothing but 0L. Okay, we call it as OL. OL is one of the leading ledger where all the financial transactions related to the US will be stored in this ledger. All the financial. And this ledger I am assigning to IFRS 16. IFRS 16, very, very important. Now, in the same US country, I am also doing something. Okay, I am also doing the business in other countries also. Company is only one, which is in US. But I'm doing some transactions. I'm doing some transactions with the vendors and customers. Okay, something like I'm doing some exports and imports with other countries, which they have their own like accounting standards. Now I have only one country, but I'm doing the business in various countries. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I want another reporting to the same country because IFRS is my local reporting, but I'm also doing the business. I'm also doing some transactions related to Germany. I'm also doing some transactions in India. Company is only one, sir. Company code is only one, which is in US. But I am doing the business in various countries. I'm doing some posting of the transaction in various countries. So in Germany and India. So what is my reporting is telling that you have your own reporting called as IFRS 16, but at the same parallelly, I want the German reporting that they are going to be using the local GAAP, and Indian reporting they are going to be using the Ind AS. This okay, INDAS, Ind AS. Indian Accounting Standard we call it as. Now company is only one, company code is only one, company code is only one. I'm taking the company code, it is US 10. Company code is only one. US 10 is nothing but my company code, and my local reporting is IFRS 16. But for the same company code, I want to have another reporting for the German and India also. German, they are going to be using the local GAAP, and India, they are going to be using the Ind AS as a local reporting. Now for that, what I'm going to do, I'm creating two more ledgers. One is L1, and here I'm creating, these are going to be called as non-leading ledgers. Don't worry, my dear friends, we are discussing more into the detail when you go to the ledger concepts. We have a very good topic on the currencies and the ledgers. There I'm going to discuss each and every point in a very, very, very clear bit. But here I'm going to be explaining the architecture. So it will be a little bit high overview. So company code is only one. If you open the company code is only one, but I want to display, I want to have the three different reporting. One is the local reporting, and I want the local GAAP reporting, and another one is I want the Ind AS reporting. So I'm creating one leading ledger for the local, for the IFRS, and I'm creating one more ledger which is called as a non-leading ledger for the local GAAP, and I'm creating one more ledger for the Ind AS for the Indian reporting. So I have totally three ledgers are there. Now, all these transactions, whatever the accounting entries you're posting, all these three ledger transactions will go into one table from today. Okay, now that table is getting updated, which is called as ACDOCA table now. Okay, now where this information will go and store, the ledger reporting information will go and store in the ACDOCA table from today. Now, in SAP S4HANA, there is a one field. If I want to see any data related to any of the ledger, so if I go to the table called as ACDOCA table, one second. Okay. If I go to this particular table, okay, for example, I want to see this document in the table. Which table? ACDOCA table. Now, if I come and look at the table here, if I come and look at the table, this is my ACDOCA table. Now, if I come and look at the table for the company code, and I'm giving the document number also here, I'm giving the document number. For example, I'm giving the document number also for the year of 2019. For the year of 2019. Now, when I open this document, I can see this particular document is getting posted to the ledgers. Here you can see there is LD is nothing but a ledger. LD is nothing but a ledger. Here I can see two ledgers are there. One is the OL, which is called as the leading ledger, and parallelly I see the same document has got posted to another ledger also, which is going to be called as the 2L. OL and 2L. So two ledgers have been updated here. Two ledgers have been updated means two ledgers have got posted here. One is for the local reporting, another one is for the local gap reporting or any other reporting. One is for the IFRS, another one is for the local gap, whatever may be. So these two ledgers have got updated. Now, if I select only one ledger, if I select only one table here, this is what exactly my ledger. So the field name. So when you come to the field name, so if I go back, and if I see where is the ledger here, here it is the ledger. If I see the field name, what is the field name? RLDNR. What is the ledger field name in this particular ACDOCA table? DOCA is nothing but a table. It is a table. In this table, I can see there are so many fields are there. So what is the field name? The field name is going to be calling it as RLDNR. Very, 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 very important, my dear friends. RLDNR is the field name for the ledger. It is the OL or 2L, whatever may be. So now in SAP, what it is telling that it is going to be calling it as a multi-gap capability through RLDNR dimension. Means now in SAP S4HANA, you can have your ACDOCA table with multiple ledgers. Now mean to say that now I'm going to be giving you one the field called as the ledger. Now, based on the ledger, you can see for which are all the ledgers the document has got posted over here. This is what exactly I call it as a multi-gap capability. It means you can have different postings to the different ledgers over here. But when I go back to your old one, ECC, in ECC, we don't have this kind of facility, my dear friends. Very, very important. If you go back to your ECC, there is a one table called as the line item level table, SE16. If I come to this table, earlier we don't have the ACDOCA. If I come to the BSEC table, BSEC is the line item table. Earlier in SAP ECC, we don't have this field actually. If I go and open this document, now I don't see any field related to the ledger. No, nothing. No ledger field, no ledger field, no ledger field. There is no ledger field over here. I don't see any field related to the ledger. But now in SAP S4HANA, I'm giving a field called as the ledger for the ACDOCA table. Now where you can have your multi-gap capability. If you want to see the OL related data, you can give the OL. If you want to see, if I giving the OL means I can only see the OL related data. See here, only OL. If I want to see the 2L means I can give the 2L. 2L is another ledger. Just now I shown. I can see only related to the 2L. So this is what exactly I call it as. See, there are so many ledgers are there. You can see there are so many ledgers are there. So this is what exactly I call it as a multi-gap capability. Gap capability is nothing but your reporting. Multi-gap means you have the US gap, you have the local gap, you have different types of reporting based on the country. So I can have this RLDNR as a dimension field in your ACDOCA table. Clear, all of you?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, now
Mahesh,
Every document, if we go and see every document, okay, if I go and see in every document here,
quick question. So who
yes,
does this general entries? Like how do we know like we want to do in 2 ledgers or 1 ledger? So who does the manual entries?
that we have to do. There is the configuration is there because we had to do that configuration. We are in the coming classes. I'm going to show. That is what I have explained. So this is the architect we are today. We are going to discuss on the AC Docker table, but the ledger assignments and everything in the coming classes we are going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, 6-digit field for the line item numbering. What do you mean by 6-digit field for the line item numbering? My dear friends, if I go back, okay, if I open a document, now here I can easily see that. Okay, now here, if I see the document, this is my document. This is my document. If I go and see this document here, okay, if I click on overview, this is my overview call option. Now, how many line items are there? If I see here, this is my line item. 1 and 2. There are one is the debit line item, and the second one is going to be called as a credit line item. Debit line item and the credit line. If I see the same document in my AC DOCA table, see AC DOCA table, when I come to the same document number, I see this is the line item numbering. LIN ITM is going to be called as the line item numbering. There are 2 line items are there. One is the debit line item, another one is the credit line item. If you see the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total, the line item numbering number is going to be the 6-digit field. It is going to be called as a 6-digit field. Now, this is in AC DOCA table I'm talking. Now, when you go back to the basic, when I go back to the basic, if I give the same document number, now here, if you see the line item numbering in the BSEC, this is the old table in your SAP ECC. This is the line item level table in ECC. Now we have a new table called as AC DOCA table. Now, if you see the line item numbering, they have only 3-digit field. If you see here, compare the AC Docker. This is my AC DOCA table, 6-digit field, and compare with your BSEC table, old table, that is 001 and 002. Means now in AC DOCA table we have the 6-digit field line item numbering. Means in one single document, you can enter up to 9,99,999 line items in one single document in SAP S/4HANA in AC DOCA table. I see only 2 line items are there. If I open the same document, if I go and see, there are only 2 are there. One is the electricity and utilities, another one is the petty cash is one account. Here only 2. But now in one single document, means if I go and if I want to post any transaction in my SAP, now in SAP S/4HANA, you can post up to 6-digit field line item numbering. 6-digit field line item numbering. Earlier, if you go back to your SAP ECC, that system is going to be taking only up to 3 digits. Mean now only you can post up to 999 line items only. If I'm trying to post the 1001, 1000 is the 4-digit line item. The system will not allow. So you have limit up to the 999 line items you can enter only in one single document. Number of credits should be equal to number of debits. But now I have enhanced your field of line item numbering. Now very, very important. The line item numbering field has been increased more 3-digit extra, where earlier it was limited up to 999. Now today, in my AC DOCA table, now the same line item numbering I brought up to 999 and 999 totally. See the difference. This is called as a line item numbering in one single document. Actually, number of credits, number of debits in one line item. So in one document, we call it as. And not only that, yes, madam.
It means like when we are going to do one entry, like we can do for 1,000 debits and 1,000 credits. So that is kind of line item.
Exactly, madam.
Okay, thank you.
In one single document, I'm talking only in one document.
Okay.
Earlier, Earlier, earlier it is not possible to go behind 999 earlier in SAP ECC. But now 9,99,999 means approximately we cannot imagine also whether any company is posting these many line items as of now. But SAP has given you all that option.
Okay, thank you.
Clear?
Mahesh,
Yes,
when you say document, does that mean is an invoice or like
Anything you can take any document, sir. Any document related to the financial, like expenses or invoice or payments or anything you can take.
Okay, because I'm wondering like how would someone have more than 2 line items on an invoice?
For example, if you see some billing documents, sir. For example, if you take about the sales, sir, sales. Normally they will issue an invoice to the customer. If you see like Amazon like companies, a service oriented companies, Amazon or something like. Now we cannot predict that customer. So one billing is going to be generated to the customer with something like, for example, okay, I can take about 800 items. Billings has been delivered to the customer. 800 items are there. I'm sending the billing to the customer. These 800 is nothing but the product based. I mean, each and every product one invoice. I mean, say that one line item, and 800 line items plus I'm adding something called as a output tax. Output tax will be added, and if there are output tax and if there are something other, if there are something like revenue accounts are going to be added, means totally if I add everything, 800 plus output taxes plus revenue accounts, it will be cross more than 999. 100% it will cross more than 999. Then it is not possible. Most of the companies now, not only CSER, not only the service base, if you see the manufacturing companies also, if they are going to be sending any billing to a customer, okay, if it is less than 4 to 5 products, okay, it will be below about 50 to 60 items. But if the products in the same billing documents, if you have each and every product you have created as a sales order, for that particular sales order, you are generating the billing document. Billing is nothing but an invoice document to the customer. Then you can expect so many line items. Sir. Clear, sir?
Yeah, okay, got that. Thanks.
And sir, the document number is like it is it is going to generate automatically because it has to be.
It will be generated automatically. There are something. There are two things. One is internally. One is called as internally. Another one is called as externally. If it is internally, means the system generates the document number automatically.
Yeah,
if you are selecting externally, means you have to provide your document number while you're posting the documents.
Yes. Yeah.
And not only this.
Yeah, for like
Yes.
our sales and purchase, we should have automatic
Different document numbers. Different document numbers.
Okay, got it.
For general ledger, I'll keep a separate different document number. For sales, for invoice, and I'll keep a separate document number. For purchase, I'll keep a separate, because I need to identify by the series. If the series is 1, means it is the sales. If the series is coming as a 2 series, means it is the purchase. Like this, I can easily identify.
So Mahesh, so you mean there will be like something like chart of accounts, right?
Exactly, madam. Chart of accounts are nothing but your GL accounts. Chart of accounts are GL accounts. Like here, for example, travel expenses is one of the GL accounts. Chart of accounts is nothing but your GL accounts. Travel expenses account debit, cash or bank account credit. These are nothing but your GL accounts. These numbers are going to be called as line item numbers. These are not the GL accounts. These are the line item numbers. Maybe it will be the vendor account or customer account or GL account or material account, whatever may be in one. We are not going to be predicting that this will be a GL account or this will be a vendor account. So if I open the document, I can come to know, okay, there are 200 line items. There in this 200 line items, there are 50 line items are related to the vendor, and the remaining all are related to the GL, like that. Clear?
Mahesh, I have a question. So in AC DACA, you have up to 999,000 line items. And in BSEG, you only have 1,000. So if you were to look at a document in AC DACA that has, say, 5,000 line items, then how would that translate to BSEG?
I expected this question, sir. Thank you very much for bringing this. I expected this question now. So your question is now, today in the environment of SAP S/4HANA, we have the BSEC table is there. We have the two tables are live. Okay, we have the BSEC table and we have the AC DOCA table. Both tables are available. Now, any financial document you're posting, any finance document, BSEC, any finance document you're posting in SAP S/4HANA, the document will be updated in both the tables. The document will be updated in both the tables. Simultaneously, I can see the document is getting posted in the BSEC, and I can see the document is also getting posted in the AC DOCA. If any document, if you see here, if it is below 999 line items, I don't have any issue in the BSEC level. The 999 here and 999 will be in the limit of 6 series. But if you see any document like billing document, now example, one of our friend is asking about the invoice. If we open the invoice, if it is impacting, invoice is nothing but the document is coming from the sales to FI. The document is coming from the sales module to FI. So when it is integrating with FI, from the sales point of view, they don't have any kind of objections, my dear friends. Okay, but when any accounting document is going to be triggered to my FI, the FI document is going to be having more than 999 line items now. Yes, when it is triggering to the FI, it is having more than 999 line items. In this case, I don't have any issue from the AC DOCA table because it will accept. But when a document is not getting posted to the BSEC, why? Because it is contains about something like, okay, 1002 line items are there. But these 1002 line items are more than what I'm going to be expected in the BSEC. It is only up to 999. So what I have to do here, the system will fail. The system will fail to post a document to my FI because the line item numbers are more than compared with your BSEC. So the system will fail to post. From the AC DOCA point of view, I don't have any worry. But here, from the BSEC point of view, the system has stopped posting of this document because it is contains 1002 line items, which is more than 999. Then what I have to do here? I have a concept called as summarization. I have a concept called as summarization. Summarization means you can summarize the equal field of line items into one line item. For example, I will go and analyze this FI document and I see in these line items, there are similar line items are there which is impacting to my cost center. Okay, out of this now 1002 line items, there are about 6 to 7 line items are there. 6 to 7 line items are there which having the same cost center. And there are about 20 line items are there which have the same profit center. Like this, what I will do here, I will go and analyze each and every line item. And what I will do, I will summarize those 6 line items which have the same cost center. I will summarize into one line item, into 6 maybe. Okay, if I open the 1 to 6 are there, line items are there. Okay. So 6 line items. In this line item, the amount is 100. In the second line item, the amount is 150. And in the 6th line item, you have the amount as a 200 earlier. Now, what I'm going to do when I summarize this all the 6 line items into one line item, I will summarize this amount into also. Okay, 100 plus 150 plus 200 plus remaining 2 line items. Everything is going to be coming up to 900. 900 is my amount, total dollars. So total dollars. So this is my total amount of the 6 line item. So what I will do, the equal, because all these line items have the same cost center, I will summarize into one line item. I'll summarize into one line item and the total 900 is getting updated to this particular line item. Now, how many line items have been brought down? The 6 line items have been brought down to 5 line items with 1 line item. Now the same thing I will do for the 20 line items. I'll bring down all the 20 because they have the same profit center. I'll bring down all the line items. Now what is happening? Totally here 5 line items plus here 19 line items. You have been come down with 1 line item. So it is below 1002. Now it is below 919. Now I can allow my system to post this. So this is called as summarization. So I need to do the summarization. Once you do the summarization of the line item, then the system, I will ask my salespeople to post one more time. Then the document will be get posted to AC DOCA and the BSEC level. Clear, sir?
Yes, clear. Understood.
I'll do the summation. I'll explain you the summation also. So anybody has any doubts in this line item numbering? Anything, any doubts? No, okay. What is the next point? 23 digit field for the currency. Oh my God. Earlier it was only 18 plus 1, 19. The decimal factors, everything. Now the digit numbering, now the field of currency field numbering has been increased up to 23. Earlier it was 18. Now it has been improved up to 23 digit field. If I open any line item, okay. If I go to any line item here, 1 second. I don't know why the system is getting stuck up every time. Okay, see here. Now, if I go and open any document, okay. Now, if I go and open any document, okay. So, for example, oh my God. Come back, okay. So, if I see the document number, okay, ledger. See, this is the ledger. This is called a multi-gap capability. I can view the ledgers from OL to 2L, anything, okay. So, company code. And here, financial year 2019. Now, see, I'll give the same document number 10000. Okay, now I'll give. Okay, now if I execute. If I select any line, there are two line items are there. Line item number 1, line item number 2. Now, if I go and see the display here, when you see the currency field here, now here you can see amount in currency 12,000 USD dollars. But now you can see about, okay, here you can see about 2 plus 5 plus 2 decimals are there. But earlier means in SAP ECC, we have the currency field with the decimals is taking only up to 18 characters, 18 numerical. Now the same currency field has been enhanced up to 23 digit field. Very, very important, my dear friend. This is very, very important. Now, if I go to the table of ACDOCA, this is my ACDOCA table. Now here, where is the currency field? Just come down. Amount in local currency. 1 second, sir. Yeah, here you can see the length of the currency field. It has been increased. Now the currency fields. I'll tell you what are these remaining currency fields, because a lot of things we have to explain. A lot of things we have to do. See, now it is 23 digit field is there. Now currency field is enhanced up to 23 digits. Now if I double click on this, the number of characters for the currency field, now I can enter up to 23 with 2 decimal places. 23 is the currency. What is the decimal here? Decimal is nothing but this is what exactly you call it as a decimal. I'm not going to be considering the decimal. Decimal is this is the decimal. I'm not considering the decimal. Only the characters of the length of your numerical value of the currency. This is up to here. You can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I can post the document up to 23 digit field, excluding with the decimal place. Earlier it was only 18. In SAP ECC only 18, now I've been enhanced more 5 here. So easily I can see here. The length of the currency field, now it is going to be the 1023. This is what I see. CURR is nothing but the data type. CUR is nothing but currency. CUR is nothing but, so I'm seeing the data in the ACDOCA table, which is called as Universal General Entry. So this table is a more flexible table now in SAP S/4HANA. So you have, this is the architect where I'm going to be resembling for your future. This is what very, very important. Now I'm giving an assignment to all of you. I'm giving an assignment because tomorrow we don't have the class. Okay. So the same class we'll have on Friday. Okay. So same class I'm continuing on Friday, coming class. I'm leaving to Germany today. So some priority work. Okay. So I'm the project manager. So I'm the account head. So there are some gap analysis going on. So I need to fix out that. I need to attend the steering committee meetings over there. So tomorrow I'll be in the traveling early mornings. Okay, so tomorrow there is no class. So I want everybody to go through this PPT and go and do some analysis from your side. And today by end of the day or mostly by tomorrow morning, you will get the system access. Everybody will get the system access. Okay. So you will be getting system access, and in the mail they will be telling you how to access to the system. Step-by-step guidelines will be given in the mail itself only. So you can follow those guidelines and make sure that you are going to be looking about all these tables in a detailed way. So when I come on Friday, so I'm going to put some assignment questions. So I need everybody to get answered for that. I'm telling these are the basics. These are going to be the basics for your coming classes. I'm telling these are the very, 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 very important.
So Mahesh,
All the users will get the access. All the users will get the access by today, but most probably. Have a safe trip. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Asha. Thank you. So all the users will, everybody will get separate user ID and password. Okay. And here I'll explain you how to get login. See here. Now, example I'll show now. Now, once you got this access, once you got the mail, go to the search here and type the remote desktop. Here you'll get the remote desktop. Okay. In the run, you just type the remote desktop. Okay. You're searching for remote desktop. Click on the remote desktop connection. Now you will get the screen like this. You will get a screen like this, remote desktop screen coming like this. And they will give the computer number. In the mail itself only, you will get a computer number. What is the computer name? Just type that computer name over here. Type that computer name over here. They will give you, don't worry. In the mail itself only, you will get all the computer names and user ID and password. After giving the computer name, just click on connect. Click on connect. So it will ask for your user ID. It will ask for your user ID and the password. It will ask for the user ID and the password. The user ID and the password will be given by your Xerantech support team. Okay. Type the user ID and the password. Same user ID and password. Whatever the user ID and password they will be providing you, they just type it. And if you want to remember that, keep it as a remember and click on OK. Yes. Yes. The remote desktop connectivity is connected. Yes. Now, once you come back here, okay, just I'll close everything. Once you come back here, okay, once you come back here, you will see one axis like this. Okay, the remote desktop screen. This is my SAP logon pad. SAP logon pad. Double click on SAP logon pad. And in the mail, they will tell you which server. These are the two different servers I have. So select any, they will tell you which server you have to select. Select your server and click on log on. Click on log on. And don't change the client number. I'll tell you what is the client number, everything in the coming classes. Don't change the client number. Just client number be as it is only. I'll tell you what is the client. And just type the user, same user ID and password what you have entered at the time of remote desktop connectivity. Same user ID and password here also. This is the SAP user ID and password. Earlier that was remote desktop. Same user ID and password and press enter. Now you came to the SAP. Now follow my video. What transactions I entered and do the practice. This is very, very important, I'm telling you. Any doubts?
Mahesh, where do we find the PowerPoint slides?
Sir, you already got the access, sir. I think you already it is there.
But this slide is not there. There's a different slide.
Which one, sir? This one, sir?
The one you're showing right now, it's I don't think that one is there.
No, it is there, sir. See, PPT slides for the trainer. See here. It is already there. You can download it.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much.
Hey, Mahesh, can you also like show what we need to in the materials in the Google Drive, which exactly materials we need?
No. That's what I'm telling. No, not required anything here. Not required. For these 2 days, not required. That's what yesterday also told that. Don't go to the material tab now. That time will come when I have to show that. Okay, please. Just follow my guidelines. Why? Because I'm telling, don't burden yourself. I'm making your job very easy by explaining each and every topic in a very detailed way. First, don't look into the books. First, try to understand what Mahesh has told, what we have understood, and what level we are standing over. Just analyze your skills and capabilities. And then after you get all that information in a perfect way, then you go and refer the book. That is what exactly I tell you for all the students. Then 100%, you will never, in the lifetime, you'll never forget. In the, what certification, just leave it. It's a cakewalk for you. I'm telling you, you will not get less than 95%. I'm telling, guarantee that.
Mahesh, before you start the session, like, can you go over the course content, like, so we know what we're doing for the day, right?
Ah,
So
yeah,
right
the
now-
course content is here. Yeah, see here.
Yeah, but
Okay, see
so-
the course. Yeah, the course content I'm attached over here. Okay,
Yeah,
this
so
is the
what
course
topic
content.
was covered today?
Yeah. So here, everything the course content. This is the different course content we are going to be doing over here. So I will attach one more course content at the topic wise level also. So I'll make sure that the course content will be available by next Friday. Once I come back, then I'll give the manual course curriculum to you so you can refer that.
Okay.